Previously, on Keeping Up with the Kenya Kwanza government.
It's now apparent that the documentary failed to meet the intended purpose due to falsified information from several interviewees.
Here's another good reason why Kenyans are finding it hard to forgive President William Ruto.
I refuse to sit in this house to listen to the cabinet secretary confirm that his ministry cannot be able to capture suspects who were previously under their arms and custody.
You see, currently President Ruto is still on a public relations treadmill, running hard to repair his battered image. Yet, just as he begins to find his footing, alongside comes his political ally, Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen, seemingly hell-bent on undoing whatever progress the president is making.
And Mr. Speaker, what I would like to clarify from the CS is that this issue is not new. In Mai Mahiu, it is also in some areas in Kikope, it's also in some areas in Sachangwan, where we have long tracks.
It is along the entire northern corridor.
Yes, so it...
all the way to Congo.
Yes.
Now, if Ruto's critics were looking for fresh ammunition, Murkomen just handed them a loaded magazine. And here is why.
Amesema anakupatia anakuja na hiyo 20,000 anakupea 25.
A few weeks ago, BBC aired a chilling documentary revealing how underage girls in Mai Mahiu and Naivasha were being sold into sex trade, auctioned off to the highest bidder in a sordid market of exploitation.
Nitafukuzwa kama sitafanya, na sina mahali pa kwenda. Mimi sina wazazi.
The footage was damning, the accounts harrowing, but Murkomen is not buying it. Speaking to the Parliament on Wednesday, the CS dismissed the expose as a hoax. He claimed the documentary's impact failed to reach the intended purpose because, according to him, some of the girls allegedly lied about their age to qualify for promised sponsorship from BBC.
It's now apparent that the documentary failed to meet the intended purpose due to falsified information from several interviewees. Although prostitution is illegal in Kenya, it remains widespread, with sex workers openly soliciting. Additionally, access to hotels and lodging facilities is largely unregulated, with inadequate measures in place to prevent minors from gaining entry. The BBC crew members have been identified as Njeri Mwangi, Stephen Ruiyi, Anthony Zipora Ndinda, Kagunda, Beth Wamboi Waidera, Anastasia, and Nick Milne, a foreign national. According to the witnesses, BBC representative promised substantial payments and lifestyle benefits to those who were involved. Investigations have further revealed that the documentary footage was recorded in Mai Mahiu and Karagita. Witnesses were linked to one another in various capacities within the sex work community. Millicent Wairimu, the chairlady of commercial sex workers, confirmed that she had been approached by the individual known as Snorina, with whom she had previously worked at North Star, and thereafter introduced her fellow sex workers, Judith Wanjiru Njoroke, alias Chepto, and Caroline Kinyanjui, alias Nyambura, and Jane Wamuyu Kungu to the BBC team. Jane Wamuyu, upon learning of the arrangement, involved her daughter-in-law, Neema Selina, while Millicent also sourced 3 other girls, Faith Weta, Mary Njoki, and Faith Njeri. Now, Mr. Speaker, that is, let me take that again. So, Jane Wamuyu, upon learning of the arrangement, this arrangement involved, financial exchange and so forth. Jane Wamuyu, upon learning of the arrangement, involved her daughter-in-law, Neema Selina, while Millicent also sourced 3 other girls, Faith Weta, Mary Njoki, and Faith Njeri, who is yet to be traced. Faith Njeri is yet to be traced. Lucy introduced 4 girls to BBC team. Alice Nyambura Nyawira, alias Naserian, stroke Elizabeth Nyambura, Mine Njeri, Lillian Wairimu, and Michelle Wanjiro. The investigation has established that the BBC team primarily sought underage girls involved in sex work. However, some of the girls allegedly falsified their age to qualify for the promised sponsorship. 2 women identified in the documentary as Cherop and Nyambura were confirmed to be Judith Nyambura Njoroge, a sex worker in Maimayu for 2 months, and Caroline Kinyanjui, who had operated there for 2 years.
Instead of promising swift justice, Murkomen confirmed that no arrests had been made. Investigations, he said, are still underway, but the real heat, he suggested, should be turned on the journalists behind the expose. He even warned that the police would take actions against them.
2 women portrayed in the documentary as child traffickers, identified as Judy and Caro, were reportedly promised significant sums of money and have since relocated to unknown locations. No arrests have been made so far, but investigations are ongoing, including obtaining financial records and call data to link all involved parties and tracing missing witnesses. Concerning reports detailing the number of children being trafficked, Mr. Speaker, the police, through anti-human trafficking and child protection units, commenced investigations immediately upon receiving the report. Several witnesses have since recorded their statements to assist in investigation to identify and rescue minors involved in the sexual exploitation scheme. Preliminary findings indicate that some of the girls interviewed by BBC falsified their age to qualify for the promised sponsorship, as the BBC team was interested in underage girls engaged in sex work. The matter remains under active investigations, and upon its conclusion, appropriate legal action will be taken against individuals found culpable of any offenses. This documentary is concerned, it was a hoax. It was, Mr. Speaker, planned, executed in a manner to portray that there were underage girls that were, going through sexual exploitation, while in reality the people who were playing the game knew that they were not. Now, on the part of BBC, insofar as media ethics is concerned, it remains at large there to know whether, the first question is, why would someone promise financial reward in case information is going to be shared? Was the financial reward intended to get a good story that can be aired by BBC and therefore improve the well-being of the reporter? Or was it also the financial reward was actually part of the tricks that were being used by BBC to see if they can find actual young children, Mr. Speaker? And that remains also to be unraveled through the investigations. And Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the conclusions that were being made brings to question an international media house like BBC in terms of verifying their sources, Mr. Speaker, before airing such a very explosive story. Be it as it may, we continue to take seriously cases of gender-based violence, sexual exploitation, trafficking, child trafficking and human trafficking generally. We take them seriously, Mr. Speaker, whether or not it was contained in the BBC documentary, because it's a human rights issue and it is organized transnational crime that we must deal with together. And we all know that there are actual challenges where children are trafficked. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, it doesn't stop the fact that the Maimayu incident, the BBC report, was a hoax, does not mean that we sleep and don't do the job that we are expected to do. Mr. Speaker, what will be done? What about the people who are implicated in the documentary? Mr. Speaker, since then these were not children, Mr. Speaker, it becomes difficult to charge them or to take legal action against them, Mr. Speaker. However, investigation must go even further.
They have committed offenses, conspiracy to cause public despondency. I'm
just saying the people who are implicated by those in the documentary, by saying X and Y is involved in child trafficking. Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Chair. Speaker.
Sorry.
Yeah. My point of order, Speaker, will be on the penal code. Is very clear that profiteering at all is a crime. Specifically from soliciting for
procuring,
yes,
soliciting,
and profiteering, yes,
are criminal offenses.
Yes, so there are still enough grounds for this cabinet secretary or for the agencies to look for those specific women who have been actually interviewed. And if they gave false information, Mr. Speaker, they also should take action because they are also adding to what the BBC is doing.
I think we are very clear on that one, and we agree with the Honourable Member. I meant, and I thought I understood the question of Honourable Wangari to mean, what have we done to arrest those who were implicated in the documentary itself? You know, the documentary is mentioning names of certain people who are engaged in trafficking young girls for sexual exploitation. Mr. Speaker, and that's why I said, because the documentary itself is a hoax, then it's very difficult to charge the persons who have been implicated. However, there may be possibility that if you do the investigations about child abuse and trafficking and sexual exploitation, it may also be that it is true that those people have been mentioned. So the investigation will help us to understand whether those people, whether or not the documentary was a hoax, are also involved in child trafficking for sexual exploitation. Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit.
If Murkomen's comments weren't already causing outrage, National Law Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula was quick to pour fuel on the fire. He labeled the BBC investigation as nothing more than an attack designed to ruin the country's diplomatic image.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I also want to note, Mr. Speaker, before I ask my follow-up question, that the KEWOPA chair also raised this as a statement in the morning. And Mr. Speaker, what I would like to clarify from the CS is that this issue is not new. In my Mahio, it is also in some areas in Kikope, it's also in some areas in Sachangwan, where we have long tracks.
It is along the entire northern corridor.
Yes. So it
all the way to Congo.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So the CS maybe can tell us, first of all, are you confirming that there were no underage children that were actually for real in this trade? And secondly, there were some women, specifically 2, who had been implicated in that expose. Have they been arrested? It is very important. And finally, the issue of BBC payouts, Mr. Speaker, brings another issue of media ethics. If we have a reporter operating in this country and is using money to lure or get falsified information, what does that mean in terms of our law? So I would be interested to know, has any action been taken against these specific reporters if they for real falsified this information for their attraction or to make news or to make sensational news, Mr. Speaker? Thank you.
In fact, Minister, if you listen to that BBC so-called expose like I did, the purpose was not to bring any facts to the fore. The purpose was to besmirch the country. If you listen to it carefully, it was not meant to expose anything. It was meant to besmirch the country and more so an African person.